And welcome back to Clutch Time. This is your host, Rico, and today we are going to be looking at the most recent struggles with Cooper Kenji Cross. We're also going to be looking at the most recent injuries around SimWorld U and how that is going to impact these teams with these injured players. And so let's go ahead and start with CKC. And really the word inconsistency. Is it inconsistency with CKC? And so let's go back and look at just his last couple games, starting with the win against the University of New Mexico. And so in that game, look, CKC was terrific. He was in his bag. He scored 20 points in the second half after a slow start to the first half. He was 1 of 9 in the first half, and then he really came on in the second half. And just how good was his performance? Well, Maryland as a team only scored 31 points in the second half. And, just talking about CKC scoring 20 points in that one. But I think to note in that game is that no players in that game other than CKC scored in double digits. And so this last game in which Maryland gets beat here by San Diego State University, look, he had 24 points in the first half in that one, but it went really quiet in the second half as they fall to San Diego State University. And that really leads us now to the question of what is going on with CKC. And, with these just these performances, is it more something on CKC, or is this something to do with, maybe the team? And so I think that this has more to do with the University of Maryland, because two of the things that I see here that are a commonality in both of those games is that CKC is not getting very much help. And so that suggests to me that Maryland is really throwing a high usage rate at CKC, and they're getting ready to go into conference play. And so, as you go into the conference play, that is going to make it extremely tough for you. And I think that just really they are relying on CKC to really bail them out. And so I don't think that it's necessarily anything to do with CKC and his play, but I think it has more so to do with just how Maryland is really performing as a team, because I think at some point you've got to figure out a way to be more balanced as a team and really, help CKC out to where he is not having to really, just bail you out with the amount of scoring that he's either had to do in some of these halves. And it shouldn't be a situation that if he does go cold, then that's it for the team. I think that if Maryland really is serious about maybe making a big run and going somewhere, in Hoopsteria, they are going to have to figure out as a team what they're going to need to do around him. And so I think it has less to do with CKC. I think it has more to do with Maryland. I think that this is something to definitely watch for. And does it really affect, I think, his draft stock? I'm going to say absolutely not, because we know, this guy is a true scorer. We absolutely know that he's shifty. We know he has range. We know that, this guy has the ball handling ability, the quickness, and all those things like that. And I don't think that it really is going to necessarily as a GM, make you think twice about him, because if you get him, at the SWB level, or SWBA level, I should say, you're going to have some other players around him. And I think that you're hopefully getting him into a situation where it's more balanced. And that's why I think that this is more to do with Maryland and the situation that they have as a team. And so next up, I wanted to shift focus, and I wanted to take a look now at some of these injuries around SimWorld U. And, we have some injuries here with the Rutgers. We have some injuries with IU. And so let's start with Rutgers and Dalen Harper, because I think that, this is an interesting story. I think it's something to definitely monitor here, because San Diego State, they beat Rutgers. They never trailed in this basketball game. And this is tough because, look, Rutgers had just, I think, got ranked. They were going for their 5th straight win in this one. Unfortunately, they get beat. And this is tough because, Dalen Harper started off, he was 5 of 5, and then he lands awkwardly on the wrist, and then 0 of 5 to close out. And so he missed 4 minutes of action here to get the evaluation. And so hopefully it's something where you get some good news here, because if it is a grade 3 strain, that is going to be the worst strain. That's going to be something that I think clearly could require him to really miss some significant time, because if you're talking about a grade 3 strain, you're talking about a complete tear of the muscle or the tendon, and that's definitely going to require some surgery. So I'm not sure what type of grade he's in right now. That's something that I'm looking forward to seeing from the press when it comes out. But I'm thinking of something that happened with Lonzo Ball of the Chicago Bulls earlier this year, where he had a wrist sprain, which really cost him some time, and they had to sit him down because he was in between a 2 and a 3. And like I said, with a 3, that requires surgery. And so it's good that, he was right in between and they caught it in enough time. But it'll take some time for you to get back on the court, start doing dribbling activities and things like that. And it's one thing to start dribbling the basketball, but then you got to start thinking about the follow through and the release, how that affects your shot. And then defensively, when you're out there, you're getting hit, you're fighting through screens, you're trying to, grab the basketball and things like that and catch. Like, there's a lot of different things that really go into a wrist injury. So hopefully, he's going to come out of this, because the Rutgers, they really need him. I mean, I think as a freshman, I think he's been great for them. I think he's been, just super with the way that he's been able to score the basketball, with the 16.7 points a game, 4.6 as far as the total rebounds. And so the impact has been there. I think he needs to get better as far as being a better free throw shooter. But all in all, I mean, this is a guy, look, he's quiet on the court, but he gets things done. And I think that he's quietly been the leader for Rutgers. And so they're going to have to figure it out, especially if he is not 100% or he has to really miss some time. And I think also, too, when you're talking about missing Harper, if he's out, this could put some added pressure on Kamarian Goodyear, right? Because I think that puts more pressure on him. We know that he's vocal, he's confident, but at 12.8 points a game, 3.8 rebounds a game, I think that without Harper, he's going to have to increase that. And so I think that that's a storyline to look for. Next up, I wanted to talk about Keontae Dior. All right. And so it looks like that he actually exits the game with 4 minutes left. Looks like it appears to be he's day-to-day with a hamstring strain. And so first of all, when you talk about a hamstring strain, that is a very tricky injury, because if you don't take enough time to really let that thing heal, there is the chance of re-injury. There's a chance that you can also tear that as well if you continue to go out there and keep going on a hamstring. That is something that is definitely not something to play with. It's a tough soft tissue issue or injury. And so with him, he is a real impact for this team at 6'7", 10 points a game, 3.5 rebounds a game. But more importantly, with this team, look, they're ranked 18th. They've won 3 in a row. They just beat Nevada 72-57. And so, now the question for this is just who is going to really pick up where he left off as far as what he brings as far as being a chemistry builder, because we know that is what he is a chemistry builder. His motivation is definitely the team success out there. He's super animated in games. And so I just feel like they're going to miss a ton of energy out there. And so who is going to step up for this team and bring this energy if he has to miss extended times, or he's not able to give you the amount of minutes that you need, especially headed into conference play, ranked 18th right now. So look, this is going to be important times for any team in SimWorld U as conference play starts. And so anyway, let me know in the comments what you think about this most recent news and injury updates around SimWorld U. And also, too, let me know in the comments what you're thinking about CKC. Like, is it more inconsistency on him and the way he plays, Or is this more of an inconsistency with Maryland and kind of the things that they've done around him to help him out? I'd love to hear what you guys are thinking in the comments. Just want to thank everybody out there for liking, subscribing, and sharing to the content. It means a lot to us here at SimWorld TV as we continue to go ahead and pump out this great content. And so make sure that you are checking out all the shows around the network. And as we say all the time, see the game and be the game. I'll see you guys on the next one. All right. Peace.